Hello friends, so welcome to this demo. So in this particular lecture, we'll see how we can configure authentication for a web app. So we'll be using the same web app which we have used in our previous lecture. So if you remember in our previous lecture, we created this web app SA-web app 489 and we use this particular URL to access or without any authentication. So we'll see that okay, if still it is accessible without any authentication. See, you are able to access this website like this because if you'll go to the web app settings over authentication and authorization here, because we have set the app service authentication to off. So once we'll click on and select the method that okay, with the help of which we want to get the web app authenticated, in that case we'll not be able to access the web app without any authentication. So let's do that. Let's click on and then here action to take when the request is not authenticated. Then we want to log in with the Azure Active Directory or Microsoft does provide the option that okay, because number of web apps or users are having the requirement that okay, they want to get that authenticated via some external IDP identity provider like Facebook, Google or Twitter. In that case, you need to provide the information about the Facebook developer account, the application registered with Facebook. All these options you need to apply over here once you click that particular option. So if you, let's say if you'll click on here, you need to provide the information like app ID, app secret. You need to have a that Facebook account information or developer account information for that. But we'll use a how we can use the Active Directory to log in with the our web app. So log in with the Active Directory, we'll configure the Active Directory settings. So in that case, basically it register your app within the Active Directory. So there are different options we have. So uh, management mode we call it as one is Express and the other is Advanced. So basically, if you'll select the Express mode, it basically allows you to create an AD application or you can say select an existing application if you already have. So it gives you both the options. So if you'll select Express, you can select an newly created app, right? Like this, and or you can select an existing AD app which you have. But we'll use this particular app, so we'll select this particular option, and then we have the advance. So basically, advance is basically for the custom configuration. So if you want to have some your legacy apps which you already have, and if you want to register it over here, then you can use the advanced option. So but we'll using the express option in this particular demo, and we'll see how we can configure that. You'll get details over here as well. Like express mode will be used for your default AD and you can create an AD application for you, and advanced mode if you have a custom AD configuration. So we'll use express and configure a new AD app, and we'll click on OK, and then we'll click on save. So it will take few minutes to update those settings, and the settings have already been updated. So now we'll try to see that okay, whether we are able to access our URL without authentication or not. Ideally we should not be, because we have set the Active Directory authentication onto that. So let's copy that URL again and let's try to access it. So I'll be using a different browser because my this credentials are cached, and I might not get prompt for the username and a password. So I'll try to access it over here and let's see if it gives me any kind of a username or a password. See, it is asking for the permissions requested because here also my credentials are saved, and we'll try within this particular URL as well. And if you have any other browser, try it from here where you have not saved your Azure password. See, so in that case, we can use the any of the browser settings. So that is why it is asking for the permission requested because the credentials are saved. And if I'll click on accept, I'll be able to access that website now because the credentials are locally saved. So otherwise, I need to enter my username and a password. And let's say if I'll go to cancel, and we can delete the particular history. And so we can delete clear history, and so we have clear now, and let's see if I can access it or not. See, now it is asking for a username or a password to me, and if I'll enter the username vks underscore secure at the rate outlook.com and provide the password, then I'll be able to access that particular web app. So you'll see, I'll now that web app will be accessible to me. See, this is how it works. And generally, you need to configure the, and there is a requirement that okay, you should configure the authentication onto your web app. Now, one thing which I would like to clear is it is not that okay, the once the request is authorized, it is not basically blocking the user to access if there is any kind of content which you don't want the users to access. So in that case, to really make the request authorized or users authorized that okay, which content they can view or cannot view, you can do the changes within the code. So in this particular lecture, we have discussed that or we have configured how we can enable the authentication and authorization onto your web app and stop the anonymous access. So this is it, friends, in this lecture. Thank you for watching this lecture. Meet you in the next lecture. Thank you.